just me or is there Spanish in it?
What's up, everybody? There's our song. A little feeling like reggae today. Me and Louie were jamming. That was our song 6 here with song 5. Andy Simmons got another one on the way. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Alexis, yeah, we'll show the Caribbean. Here's Louie. I just woke Louie up, so still no name for the little guy. I know. I thought we were gonna name him Bolt. Emily's first puppy was Bolt. Thunderbolt. I really like Chase. Emily doesn't like Chase, so we're gonna figure it out. But we got Louie. He's our boy, so we're gonna let him go here in a minute. What's up, Mike? Yeah, temps. How about that, Sheila? Huh? So we got a little bit of weather to talk about. Not a lot. Tropics are quiet. Weather's kind of quiet. So, I was going to say, so we've had the little guy a week now, and they are already sleeping together. It is the most coolest thing ever, man. His buddy, right? So let's show you, brother, and then we'll talk weather. So there's Louie. Here's the new guy. He's the backup. He's the stunt double. We're training him to be Louie 2.0. He's already got the same look. Look at that. Say hi. So there you go. The new guy. He's only 9 weeks old. He's already got his own little personality. He almost got him potty trained on the pads. Right? He can play fetch. Right? What do you think? He's a cute guy. Little Louie. I know. All right. So there you go. That's it. All right. So good morning, everybody. And we're going to talk weather. And what's up, Ryan Anderson? How's it going, buddy? What's up, Brian? Louie. I like Louie 2.0. Yeah, they are sleeping together. I sent. Let me show you a picture real quick, since Android just did an up. I finally did my Android update, so it's kind of hard to. So I have couple cute pictures here real quick. I'll show you there. So that was yesterday. Look at that, sleeping. And then this is sleeping on Dad. There's a good one there. That was me working yesterday. Both of them sleeping. Probably. And then the coolest one, let me show you. And then we'll be done right here. This is the coolest one. He actually sleeps with his head on Louie. Look at that. Crazy, huh? Good old boys. All right. So, weather. Yeah, it's cool out. So this is the water vapor map we're checking out. We're going to talk about the big low pressure spinning. That's been the big weather story this week. And crazy cool weather dripping down all the way into Florida. Dry air, cool air, unseasonable cool air. So that's cool, right? So that's it. We'll talk a little bit about tropics, right? And we'll get going. So let's take a look at our sponsor here, which I didn't pull up. So I reached out to ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. That's our sponsor. And we had a beer last year that was very successful. Unfortunately, I'm afraid that the troubled waters might not be set up yet. So I emailed ABC. I said, listen, we got to find a beer maker to get on it this year and sell it exclusively through ABC. The official beer of Mike's Weather Page and hurricane season. And I want to call it Tropical Ale. So it'd be like tropical. It'd be Tropic Ale. Tropic Ale. See, I'm a marketing guy. Tropic. So it'd be Tropic AL, tropical, with like an E. So tropical ale. Tropical ale. And I want to use Louie's face. And the cool thing about Louie 2.0, he looks just like him, so we have insurance. So that's my plea to them. There you go. ABC Fine Wine. Great guys. All right, what's cooking in the weather world? All right. A lot of stuff to talk about on Twitter. Let's talk about what we got going on right now with the tropics. So this actually is an invest. This little guy is 10%. We talked all about it last week. A little low pressure. It was a combination of a bunch of things. We had tropical energy pulled up. We have an old front that kind of broke off. It's 10%. So, we did get a circle. Yesterday we talked about it. I like Deuce, like Martin Truex, Deuce, Tropical L. There you go. Scott, that's my brain. Somebody's going to steal it now. Oh, well, we can go back and sue him because we talked about it here first. At 9:23 a.m. on June 16th, it was mentioned. And I'm a tropical kind of guy. I love Jimmy Buffett, right? Baby Homer. Homer's kind of cute. Lots of rain. Yeah, let's talk about rain. All right, so this has been on the radar for a long time, low pressure, and no big worry as far as development, only 10%. Ironically, though, we do have spaghetti models, and I have not updated the site because I really don't want to, because it's a lot of nothing just for nothing. So it's just that. There you go. It's going north. Should make landfall tonight into tomorrow. That's that. So it's nothing big. If you go to Weather Nerds, actually weathernerds.org, you can get some satellite floaters on it, but it's extremely sheared. Here's a good one. Somewhere in this mess is our low. You can see it on the wind maps. It's just all this dry air getting into it. So, development, you'd have probably a better chance of winning the Powerball than this thing is going to get development-wise. So, just a big old gnarly low pressure that's got a lot of shear because of that upper level low next to it. So, that's that. You can see it here. Let's take a look at the wind map. I haven't even looked today, but I'm sure you can see it somewhere. Spinning. There it is. Spinning. We got a spinner. So there it is. Spinning. That's the low-level winds. But too much shear. Radar, though. I did update the website to radar. Look at that. So here's the current radar. Look at this. So more rain on the way to North Carolina, unfortunately. There's Katie. What's up, Katie? I'm trying to look at some comments. What's up, Ben? Louis 2. I know. I like Louis 2.0. Noah. Oh, and Andrew. Man, you catchy. You got a marketing degree. Noah. Oh, that's pretty neat. Noah. Maybe. Louis Logger. All right, so I'll go back and read everything. So yeah, here's the big rains, and that's the big story. Unfortunately, we got more rain on the way the next day. 2 heavy rains. Current radar there. We can look at a little bit more going northward into Virginia. Here, that's a pretty heavy bandage right here. So this is all going to be spiraling its way northward here. So we got more rains on tap. The daytime heating will have a little bit more shots. Let's take a look at current HRRR modeling map. We can go. Let's just zoom into. I don't know. Let's just zoom into North Carolina right now because they're getting the brunt of it right now. Virginia's going to get a little bit too, but so here's the next several hours here as this thing rolls in. So this is throughout the day. Let me rewind it. This is noon. This is 3 p.m. This is tonight, 7 p.m. This is overnight. This is tomorrow morning. So just 2 more days of solid rains spinning into some into South Carolina, but mainly North Carolina and lower Virginia. We have flood potential maps up from the Storm Prediction Center. Well, I don't think that's Storm Prediction Center. It's just NOAA. But anyway, here's your flooding map possibilities. Pretty much all of eastern North Carolina. This is today. It extends tomorrow a little bit more into Virginia, so it is slowly pulling out. Day 3, gone. So this thing will be gone by Friday. That's that on that. So let's take a look here. A couple other maps I had loaded up. Pretty cool stuff. Here's another water vapor loop map. So we got this big upper level high pressure system that's spinning down. It broke off from the jet stream up in the Arctic, basically Canada. So you get this upper level low breaks off, kind of like a little spiral, little thing of air comes up, and it pulls all the cool air down from Water out of the manholes in Wilmington, Brock. Hey, what's up, Brock Patterson? Yeah, that's I'm sure of it. Endless rain. We had Charleston with 6-7 inches of rain yesterday. So there's a bunch of those maps. So let me close those out. That's the big weather story. In fact, if you go to, well, we're going to talk about the dust too. So a couple more maps here, and then we'll look at. So real quick, this map. This is what we're going to talk about next. This is next week. Dry conditions across all the Atlantic. This is next week's outlook, basically. Well, this weekend and next week, already into June 17th. So right now, we got this big, dry couple days in the tropics. That wave we were looking at yesterday, still hanging on. Here's a good shot. But, as expected, the farther it treks west, shear and eventually that dry air pushes down into our system. So no worries. That's why the NHC didn't mark that big blob yesterday. So these waves are encountering a ton of shear and more than anything, dust. And here's a couple maps. And this, we talked a lot about this yesterday. You'll see this last big plume of white coming off Africa here. That's big old thing of dust, dry air. And this is going to push itself across the Atlantic the next week. And eventually it's going to make its way into the Lesser Antilles, all the Eastern Caribbean. Then it's going to make its way all the way to Texas. Hey, Monica, nothing. We're looking at dust. Dust in the wind, Kansas. Kansas might get some of this dust. So I posted this graphic earlier. It was a great graphic. Let me show you. It was by the National Weather Service. Let me see where it's at right here. This is out of Texas. So here's that dust coming off, and they're talking about it. These are some long range, model predictions, but that dust is going to make its way through the weekend. In the early next week, that dust is going to be in the Gulf of Mexico. Now, what this dust does, it changes the light. The particles of dust are like little particles, and it actually reflects the sun, and that's when you get vibrant sunsets sometimes with dust in the atmosphere. That's when you get the bright oranges and the bright yellows. So dust, the people in the Caribbean tell me it's awful because it actually goes on their cars and everything, but it also makes its way into the Gulf, and it suppresses storm development, and it also brightens up the sunset. So that's next week. So this dust is coming across. That's the storyline. I read it a lot on Twitter. They're all talking about it. Here's another one. Brian Norcross is a live GOES satellite imagery that actually shows the dust. And it's very normal. You get big plumes of dust, and then you get a little break, and then you get another one, and that's what we talked about yesterday. Our most memorable storms find pockets in between these dust plumes, and they make it their way across Africa. So when we have a big dust plume like this, more middle of the season, because this is not part of the season that you even get African Cape Verde system. So it's just an interesting tidbit. And we have a friend, Shay Gibson, by the way. I pulled it up. If you want to Google it, Shay Gibson, Sal. Just type that up. He's a weather meteorologist. He's a real meteorologist, unlike me. Hey, Ben. Yeah, I heard that one too, man. Something about that. Yeah, hey, what's up, Christina? Yep. Good morning, all the Coneheads out there. Coneheads unite. So if we did a beer at ABC, Tropic Ale, I was thinking, obviously the donkey would be on it somehow. But the donkey needs to be wearing like a cone head, and somehow Louis needs to be in it. So we'd have Louis like hanging from a palm tree or something. So here's a great article, by the way. If you need it, message me out. Shay Gibson Sal, but he did a 3-part article on weatherflow.com showing you all this amazing factoids on the dust. Here's the Cape Verde Islands. But this dust blows off of Africa. Here's a picture. Massive sandstorm. And believe it or not, it controls the weather. It does. So that's what we got right now. That's kind of what the chit chat is. It dries things up. So that's that. So we'll be talking a lot about dust through the year. Here's another great graphic from Bay News 9. Basically, this is just a real simple one that shows you the dust. So anyway, that's on tap there. Despite all that and all these tropical waves, we don't have any sign of tropical activity yet. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 waves out there. So long range modeling doesn't look very Africa passing gas. Why can't we just put big fans out there, man, and put some wind turbines out there and blow the dust, right? Maybe, never know. A couple other things on Twitter I want to show real quick. Let's see. There was another interesting tidbit. I post a lot of this stuff on our supporter page. If you guys like weather, if you like tipping, be a Facebook supporter. I posted this image earlier. This is one graphic showing long range Africa rain prediction through May through June, but well, not a prediction. This is actually real fact. But the last month and a half, the rains in Africa have been above normal. Quite a bit. So the main development region here in Africa that spits out tropical waves has been more juicy this year, which means it's got the potential, as we've already seen, a lot of these waves coming off. So this is one little map. People are saying, hey, this builds on the confidence that we could have a little more active season because Africa is now rainier than normal, and that's where we get a lot of these systems. So that's another little tidbit. So here's a cool little graphic showing that cutoff low spinning down. It's pretty impressive. All right, so what else is good? So long range weather. Here's our low pressure the next day and a half, 2 days. We got more rains coming. It's going to finally get dissolved. We got another front coming down Friday. It's going to kind of push it on out of here. So the rain chances for the East Coast are just going to be spotty Thursday, Friday. No big weather system coming. We talked yesterday. We saw this yesterday. I haven't even looked today, but so we're looking at long range weather. We have a low pressure spinning over the weekend up top. That's going to kind of keep the bottom U.S. uneventful. The spotty rains, and plus with that big plume of dust coming, it could lower chances for rain early in the week. But we got this midweek poll coming up that we started seeing yesterday, and there's a little bit of chance of moisture. Here you go. I mean, there's South Texas Wednesday, Thursday, next week, midweek. So that could, that's still a possibility. If you're down in Texas, could see a little more moisture pull up from the Gulf next week. So we'll see here on the GFS. Doesn't really show too much. So that's good. Let's look at any long range hurricane models. Not showing, just one Lone Ranger. So you got a 1 out of 51 chance anything tropical develops next week out of this little guy. So the Pacific definitely looking on fire coming up. They're going to start spitting out some storms. We can see that on tropicaltidbits.com, Levi's site. But you'll see how the Pacific starts to get woke up here next week. Here's there's a little sign. Is there Tuesday next week, and then we get another little one coming across later in the week. So the Pacific, when the Pacific gets juicy, it's usually a sign that we're next. So that's not for another week plus. And again, we'll show it again. We always show the Mjo Forecast. This is where we're at now. Extremely dry pattern. So you add this Mjo pulse along with that big African plume of dust next week, then it's going to be quiet in the tropics, likely. So, and then things get back to green the end of June into July. So there's that. Let's see. Yeah, Brock, that convection was impressive off the Antilles. So yeah, spinach, Savannah, what's up? Anything? See what you guys are saying. Little non-weather chit chat. So let's see. I can't really go back more than a few minute comments, but that's it. Not really. Got some cool air. Got temps. Let's take a look at some live temps. Here's a good map. I like it. Says more detailed temp map. There's that. We're slowly inching into the 70s, but we had 50s in North Florida today, 60s and 50s across everybody in the South. So that was very pleasant, very dry, very low humidity right now. So that's good news. Where's my humidity map? Right here. That's pollen. Dew points are low in the 60s. So anyway, African dust. Yep, African dust. Cane. I like cane, Jenna. I don't know. I like cane. I like Chase. But, oh, Whitney, yeah, man. Cheers. Coffee time. There's Louie. Cheers. Hey, Scott, the coffee was great. Matter of fact, I told her I'd pump her a little bit. I kept the bag here to show. Free coffee, American Woman Coffee. They sent it to me, so that was nice. I gave some to my mom and dad, and they loved it. This was just French roast, but it was good. So thank you again for that. Yeah, hurricane parties are fun, Monica. Yep, I love hurricane parties. Father's Day on the Texas Gulf area. Let's look at some Father's Day weekend forecast. I don't see tons of anything this weekend. So far, the weekend looks pretty dry for most. No systems per se. Nothing. I mean, doesn't mean we can't get something. But as far as things that actually make huge weather events, just not seeing it. So that's good. Like I said, over the weekend we got a more upper level low above the Great Lakes. That'll keep all the weather kind of tied up north. The only really shot for Texas, again, midweek, we started to get some energy pulled up. But that's also the same timing as the dust. So I don't know if the model's take into account that. So that would be a big iffy. But there's really nothing showing long range. We just got the normal afternoon stuff here. Let's see what kind of weather flow we got across southeast here today with rains. Obviously, we got these rains spinning northward, but Florida doesn't look like it's got too much. That's because of that dry air. Maybe down in the Keys later this afternoon, maybe. But that high pressure is dominating. So we have a day of nothing for a little bit, which is great. We can go back to Weather Nerds. We can take a look real quick here at the water vapor loop and show you that. There's the dryness. Anything orange and red is dry air. So pretty much all of Florida right now is dry. Maybe like I said, a little bit of action down in the Keys, but that'll push on out of here for tomorrow, Wednesday. So what's up, Cindy? Yep, hurricane season expected to be active, but we are in normal dryness right now. So Whitney, what the heck's up with them customers? What's the Dow doing? I heard the Dow is going to be big today. Let's take a look at it. It's up 700 points. It'll close about 1,500 up. Heading home to Key West. Yep. Yeah, Don, you are definitely wet up there in Carolinas. Let's see some rain. Some last-minute rain estimates for the Carolinas. It's been just like what Florida got a week or two back. They're getting it now. Relentless in spots. And we got a big band sitting out there right now that could bring in a lot more. So this is what you got to worry about, are these rain trains coming up and just pulling north. So the rains through Thursday. They start to tap off Thursday afternoon, but here you go. Anything red's 2 inches. So still a couple inches to come. A little bit in parts of South Carolina, but mainly Virginia, North Carolina. Obviously around the coast here we can get some rain bands for 4, 5, 6 inches, but that's still to come through Thursday. GFS showing almost the same. A little less for South Carolina, but you get the idea. So still more to come. Current radar shows it. We got a big band sitting up out there right now currently. You can see it right there. Let's zoom in a little closer to what we got. So, this right here, it's going to hit. It's coming up. Definitely coming. Juice it up. Rain Train. Louie and Dewey. What's up, Bill? Louie and Dewey. I know. Dewey's kind of like Dewey out. Dew Point. Somebody said Noah. I like that, Noah. Let's see. I don't know if that's weather talk. Holy cow. We just got a long post about herpes. No, have to go back and look. Hey, Julio, yep. Good point. Yep, that's what they're all pretty much. Yesterday we had long range Euro and UK precipitation outlook come up for peak season, and both those models combined showed a higher precipitation outlook for the main development region.
You've got mail.
I got mail. Ooh, I just got AOL, or I just got email from. Oh, they ain't gonna pull up on this little site. Darn it. Maybe it will. Let's see. Hang on. Let's see what ABC said. Oh, he's already. Yeah, I gotta write it back, but that's later. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, Whitney. Let's see. Anything in the water, Mike? What kind of water? Anything in the water? Nope. Nothing in the water. Water is getting hot. The TCHP forecast here, tropical heat potential map, getting hotter. So all this, we just got to sit back and wait for the peak of season. I got mail. I know, Sammy. That's one of my. That's a notification sound. When I get certain mail, I want to make sure I know I have it come up as you got mail. But yeah, I grew up with AOL. Remember this sound? AOL login. Let's see. AOL login sound. Remember this sound? Let's pull it up. So this is the old day right here. Remember? This is me, growing up. And you'd sit on the edge of your seat waiting, like, is it gonna connect? Is it gonna connect? Please connect. Please connect. Please connect. And then it would make that sound, and it would be like, yes, I connected. Oh my God. So, a funny story, when I met Julie, we were the first ones that had Roadrunner in Tampa Bay in our area. I convinced my dad to let me pay for it. So in the old days, AOL would kick you offline if you weren't active. So when we started chatting on AOL, we kind of like chatted on AOL before we met, and that's what everybody did. And she started chatting with me, and I left my computer on. Well, back then, if you had hardline, it would not kick you out. Well, she was like, "Are you there? Are you there? Or whatever. Ignore me. Fine, whatever." Well, I was gone for like 12 hours, and my computer never logged off. And she's like, nobody that had dial-up understood that, because if you didn't do anything on dial-up, it would kick you off. So she thought I was ignoring her. I wasn't. I ignore her now. But until she gives me that fifth text, So anyway, anything else weather-wise? So that's pretty it. We're, just nothing cooking today other than the rains in Carolina. Big dust plume coming across the Atlantic. No tropical waves watching, so long-range models don't show much. So that could always change. The only thing we saw last, hardline. Yeah, I don't know what the hell. What do they call that back then? Well, it was cable. But so, anyway, yesterday we were talking about this, and it wasn't a circle. Yesterday, now it's a circle, 10%. So almost zero chance of development. Well, it's got 10% chance of development. I'm surprised they even give it that, actually. I don't think any of the models really show. The models did a good job with it, though. You can hear Louis snoring in the background. They're snoring, and hey, you never know. I mean, Actually, I mean, some of the models showed halfway decently organized tomorrow, but it doesn't have any convection around the center because there's a lot of shear. So it could still be. It wouldn't be tropical. It'd be way subtropical because there's no convection near the center. So, hey Judy, I did too. Not my husband, my wife. Oh, DSL, yeah, direct service line or something. What's up, Conehead? Yep, AOL was it. I still got my AOL email. I have a Gmail account, but I tell people my AOL email just to get a reaction from them. Like, all right, this guy's got an AOL email. What's up with that? There's Bobby talking. So anything else on Twitter we need to look at? Nothing really. Quiet day. NASCAR, I heard they might have 30,000 people at the next NASCAR race, the All-Star race. That's the big news. Then I heard baseball might not even get going now. I can't believe it. I look back at Facebook memories and I see all the times we were at the Rays games last couple years, and it was, man, what a bummer. Oh, and then by the way, yesterday I ranted on the Surf Shack. Well, the owner wrote me a really nice email. Jim, I don't know if you're in there. Jim, email, let me know. But he sincere communication. So apology was accepted, and we're all good now. So shit happens. All right, cool. Well, keep it short and sweet. That's the outlook for here for rain coming. That's pretty much that in a nutshell. This one posted by, I think, who's this guy? I like Cranky Weather Guy. I think his name is Cranky Weather Guy on Twitter. I have him on my Twitter feed. Twitter feed's cool. I have it on the app, and I also have it here in the bottom of the thing. So I have Bobby on there, Bobby Storm. We like her. I have Cranky Weather Guy. Then I have a bunch of official stuff too. So if you like weather, you can go to the Twitter feed and get more weather. You can get all kinds of weather, tons of weather. So there you go. What did I say? NASCAR. Anything else cool? And then we'll go. Radar. Radar is a good one. I thought Radar was cool. They nicknamed me Radar when I grew up. I don't know why. Sorry, Dawn. Yep. They're sleeping. No, I didn't even ask Cindy. No, they'll take care of us. I'm sure they will. I was just bummed, but hey, whatever. He admitted what I wanted to hear. They shouldn't have had it on the receipt. That's all I wanted to hear. I didn't want to hear him argue with me that we were wrong. So, what's Temp Point O'Connor? Let's take a look. This is our point. Never heard of that. What's O'Connor? Temp Point O'Connor. And I'll take a look. It's Texas, isn't it? I see that. Oh, is that just a place? Tell me what that is. Temp Point O'Connor next Tuesday. Temperature? We can look up some long range stuff. Where's Point O'Connor at? Let's take a look. So, here's our geography of the day. If you're asking about temp, there we go. So there you go, Point O'Connor. We learned something new every live chat one of our fans types in. See you, Jenna. Thank you, guys. Hey, what's up, Dale? So, what were you asking? Sunday through Tuesday. Well, we're gonna have good. You can have tropical rains roll in on Tuesday from down south. But we also have dry air coming up, so I think that's going to offset. We can just look real quick, I guess, here. We can look some cool temperature maps here on Tropical Tidbits. Can't do it on Tropical Map. What's up with that? Why not? Well, let me do it. All right, I'm going to go to US. Now we can do it. So, let's see. Temps next week. So, definitely, all right, so it looks like highs in 90s for you down there in Temp O'Connor. So 93, 90. So it's going to be in the 90s there in Texas, lower Texas. No cold fronts or nothing. So highs in the 90s, lows in the upper 70s. How's that? So there you go, Danette. Let's see what else we got. Oh, we had somebody from South Africa. Awesome. England. Fires at Camp Pendleton. No, I did not. Let's take a look at the Marine Corps. Let's see. What we got? Is that news? Oh, there we go. 7,400. Well, that was 5 days ago, though. Let's see. Hopefully they got it out. Not only do we learn weather here, we also learn current news. Is this current? No, that was old. But there. Looks like it's contained. Great fishing town. All right. So what else? Looks good. Everybody good? All right. I'll keep it short and sweet. So, all right. Well, we'll do it again tomorrow, everybody, and see if the tropics change, but not anything. I can see anything on the horizon yet. So, a couple waves down here we can watch, but they're not very juicy this morning. Here's that one we were looking at yesterday. Little dried up. This one's ahead of it, heading towards our Trinidad fan down there. Wrote me an email, so all that little tropical moisture heading that way. So they look forward to these tropical waves. Here it is tomorrow, be nearing the islands. So anyway, all right. Thank you, Marissa. Thank you, being a supporter there, Mike Powell. Thank you. Peace out, Whitney. No rains in LA for you, Whitney. Sorry, Helen. I'll replay it. So yep, just South Carolina, North Carolina rains, Virginia. That's it for the weather. We'll do it again tomorrow. So that's it. I'm gonna let the puppy sleep. Dawn, I'll make sure you rewind it. You can see the puppies. So, Katie, yep. Have a great day, donkeys. And I guess we'll see y'all tomorrow. Have a good one. Cheers. Bye.